Okay, so we have a little ways to go before pivoting on Fox at 9:30 this evening. So let's quickly get into my epic return to Nickelodeon Thursday Night in America with another episode of Danger Force. This was how many episodes have I been back? I know this was the Mark Martin installment overall of Warped, but since I lost count of how many overall Danger Force episodes there have been this season, and of course when we go back to Side Hustle in a few weeks going into next month, okay, the eliminate the power special with the big beard. I know that was like 2 episodes in, and third. This is my since I missed episode 4 and 5. This is my 4th episode back. I'm catching up on the last 2 Danger Force and Warped episodes on the Nickelodeon website this coming weekend. That way I don't have to considering I don't have to do it on the DVR and have to worry about fast forwarding through commercials because if you have ad block installed on your computer, and you're going to watch full episodes of Nickelodeon shows, that you miss because of other commitments and all that, you don't have to worry about the damn commercials. So, therefore, I'm glad I got to do that. And, that's what I'm going to do with the Million Little Things over the weekend, too, on Hulu. That way, I don't have to worry about, any commercials, fast forwarding or not, or, okay, I got a Twitter notification, go away. Fast forwarding or not, and just general interruptions, because that was some horse shit last night. I get it. All this stuff that, going on in the world is really, really important. But you pick out of all times to put that shit on when us millionaires have waited almost over a month for that shit to come back. We want to know more of the story, and then you pick the epic return to air that grade A horse shit. I mean, I know it's important, to the world, and I know it about importance in general, but for me personally, no matter how important that is, I don't give a damn about none of that shit. I never have to begin with, and I never will. But we're gonna save that conversation for another day. But anyway, let's get into Nickelodeon Thursday Night in America and my epic return to Danger Force and Warped after 2 weeks off. First off, we'll start with Danger Force. So, it was nice to see Merle, not the Frenchman at Murray Ridge. We're all on the other side of, the Triad Via Quest where Margaret and I are at now. But not the Frenchman, but in real life. But Merle from Victorious, who was working with my buddy, Troy Doherty, who played Gerald Ardbeg, which makes me appreciate their 2 characters on Victorious more from when I lived in Brook Park in the Sandhurst house and didn't have Twitter figured out and I didn't have an Instagram at the time. I didn't have a proper phone like this. You know what I'm saying? So, as I finally got to see Andrew Lewis Codwell's character for the first time ever, he's a little bad, but not bad. He's also like, let's say he's kind of, he's 50% bad, 50% good. But I guess in this episode, just turns out he turned into a good guy at the end. Even with all those crimes he committed, he still managed to graduate high school. And the poor judge, the little girl, the little black girl, I'm pretty sure she was disappointed to the point where she didn't get to, do the final hearing before, he ended up passing to graduate high school and, wiped his record, his criminal record clean as a whistle. So, I feel bad for the judge, for the character the little black girl played. And that little boy, that kid dentist or doctor or whatever, and the kid lawyer, he was pretty cool. He was pretty cool because of the fact that he was talking like a redneck and excuse me. Sorry about that. He was talking like a redneck in the restaurant scene when the officer played by Dana Dooley was trying to arrest Andrew Lewis Codwell. What? Bigsby, I can't remember these characters' fucking names because before I came back, before I just recently came back, I have totally forgotten a bunch of the Danger Force characters' names. Some of them I didn't even get to see in action before I came back, so I'm gonna have a little trouble for a while remembering everybody's names, whether I already seen them or not. But anyway, the character Andrew Lewis Codwell played, we saw Dana Dooley as the officer arresting him, and the 2 little kids, the black little girl, which was the judge, and the white kid, the little boy, where I think he was cool talking like a redneck, because I guess he thought he was a redneck lawyer or something, where he was talking into it with that accent. I mean, really cool indeed. But somehow his brother tried to sabotage him. But somehow, Andrew Lewis Godwell's character got away with it, and, the brother ended up going to jail instead. So it all worked out in the end like it should. So the hair episode is going to be interesting next week. Who's going to appear in that shit? I don't fucking know. But all this the news people that we rarely pay attention to, except for last year's Christmas episode. But now for Warped. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Oh, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Oh, June. Okay, so let's get into that. So, that creepy-ass doll. The real question is, before I get into the recap of this episode, what the hell is a Halloween episode doing on the airwaves, on the Nickelodeon airwaves, when it's late February, almost March? I mean, shouldn't that shit been saved for October, in case we got far in the series, for season 2 or some shit like that? But that's up to, Tim Barnes, Heath, Biter, I don't remember his last name, Heath Biter, something like that. I think I could be wrong. But, Kevin Coppolo, it's really up to those guys. What episodes they want to air and, what they, when they want to air them. That's not up to me. That's the honchos at Nick and the honchos at Warped about that. Hell, even when the GOAT, Wendy Ferrone, yeah, you got to take that up with her. Kevin K, it's up to those guys. So, it's not up to me. So, either way, I still enjoyed it nonetheless, considering, how the hell I figured, how the hell are they going to get rid of that damn creepy-ass doll? And Darby was tearing that sauce up like Terre Labonte, like no tomorrow. And eventually in the middle, it made it, so, Hurley made it nasty, but somehow he made it taste good again, and Darby was eating the shit out of it and licking it like Abe. And Ruby was up to her silly tricks and everything, because she has the most humor in the show, which explains part of why that she's in this, because Kate Godfrey's in this, because Kate Godfrey's characters and all that were pretty silly, but Nickelodeon, Tim Barnes and all those people, both on this show and all that, paid Kate Godfrey millions of dollars to act like that, and that's perfectly understandable, because her and Ariana Mocara are two of my ultimate favorite actresses, and Darby, and pretty soon, next week, Olivia, my other favorite character, is going to debut. Those are my favorites. Ruby, Darby, and pretty soon Olivia. Emma Nasfell. So, that name I remember by heart because she follows me on every social media platform I can think of. But, that creepy doll. So, the whole time, I thought it was real too, to the point, I thought, they did a good job staging that shit, making it look real, making it look like the doll was actually talking to real-life people. And, remember when Milo said, this is not a movie, this is real life? Well, in that situation, if you're the actor in the situation in character, of course it's real life. But the reality is, even that shit's not real life. It's just a show, just like everything else we see on the airwaves these days. And even back in the day when we were little kids, But I see where they were coming from with that, but this whole time, Ren was the one trying to, make it look like the doll was trying to kill them. That's the crazy part. And so, of course, they had an epic prank, to get back at her. She wasn't even fazed by it. Sure, she was scared like the rest of them was when she did it to them first. But in the final outcome, she wasn't even fazed. Whether she was fazed or not, you saw my tweet on Twitter, what got to end the episode of live tweeting. What goes around comes around. Good shit to the Warped cast and crew on one hell of a early ass, Halloween episode in a single 12-month calendar year. So I will see you all next week. The Nickelodeon folks out there, because we still have one more show to go on the network, pivoting on Fox. I'm gonna check this shit out like Kevin LePay to see what the episode count is. I gotta see if I can remember. Hold on. Alright, so the pivoting side of things, we left off on the Terry Labonte installment, skipped over Mark Martin and Casey Atwood, which we're going to catch up on sometime, this weekend. So now we're on the Dale Jr. installment. So I will see you all later on tonight to conclude this, epic night of television, with pivoting Dale Jr. installment. But to the Nickelodeon folks and everyone else, Nickelodeon folks out there, see you all next week for, I think it is the Casey Atwood installment of Warped, and I think my 5th episode back at Dangerverse. It's almost a fucking weekend. I'm not doing fucking math, but to the Nickelodeon folks, see you next week. To pivoting and everybody else out there, see y'all later tonight.